This episode is brought to you by Tanmay Shah. That's me. Best way to support this show is by sharing this with your friends and dropping a comment and review on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You can become my patron and a sponsor. That's not all. You can buy Rocklaz merchandise and NFTs and much more. See all the links in description for details.
Rocklaz Radio.
Rocklaz.
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 Rocklaz Radio with Tanmay Shah.
Live on YouTube too?
Yeah, live on YouTube and LinkedIn. I'm just checking that if it is working well. Yes,
Okay.
YouTube is live. LinkedIn should be live. Yeah, LinkedIn is live as well.
Yeah, but in YouTube there's no sounds.
It will come. There's a bit lag. It will come. I'm just. Alright, so YouTube, Twitter is also live. Twitter, I am so happy
but,
that Elon Musk gave me
YouTube-
access for broadcasting
There's
on
no sounds.
Twitter. It will come. There's a bit lag. It will come. Yes, I can see myself and hear myself. And you know what's the upgrade today? Like people participating in the space. I'm doing a screen share of the space. So people joining in also are being shown on YouTube. Isn't that awesome? So you can talk behind the PFP and people will hear you and see you, and that's live streamed. Next week onwards, important update is I'm moving the space to Sunday instead of Saturday. So that's something cool. After 70 weeks of doing the Saturday space, will be a Sunday space now, because I have found a way for doing long kriyas on Saturday evening, which I was looking forward to. Long kriya is a weekly follow-up of Art of Living. It's a long meditation and pranayam. So since many months I was not able to go, because it used to be only in morning and after on Sunday. So it used to get late for me and then I couldn't wake up. So now I found an evening place, but that comes very close with the timing of our weekly spaces. So here we are. On today's space, hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the weekly live spaces. Today I want to talk about grit. Do you know what is grit? Tera, do you know what is grit?
No, not exactly.
Alright, so Grit is an amazing book written by Angela Duckworth. Grit actually means passion and perseverance. Half of passion, half of perseverance. So she has done analysis and study of many people from the army, from McKinsey and the business places, and from schools and maths and competitions and all that. And she has compiled it into a book which is called Grit. So Grit is this book which I read a couple of chapters in it, 2 chapters, 3 chapters in it, and I'm really liking it. It's about passion and perseverance. She says the most important thing is people just say that it is talent. It was because of this person's talent that they have got so far as a sports person, as an athlete, or as a musician, and so on and so forth. In every field, somebody thinks that, okay, this person is very talented, that's why they have reached there. But it's not that. It's not just talent, it is also perseverance. Doing the same thing again and again, every day, practicing for many hours. That is what is great, under, of course, supervision of mentors and all that. So even those people with lesser talent who have outperformed, but who have been taking efforts, they have been able to outperform people who are just depending on the talent. So today's book, there was this chapter called Effort Counts Twice. So I'm going to pull up a diagram from that page, which she, in a theory, she says what exactly is grit. So talent into effort is skills, and skill into effort is achievement. When does somebody have skills? They have it when they have taken efforts on their talents. And talent is basically what, how quickly can you learn a skill? That clubbed with effort is skill, and all that clubbed is skill, and then skill into effort is achievement. So she was giving about an example of a potter today who created thousands of 10,000 pots, and he said these are just trials. I started learning and it became skill after those that many pots, and then after that became achievement when couple of those pots, he creates 8 pots a day. Half of them are good and select few of them are worth selling, and out of those few are worth somebody who keeps inspiring from them, who uses it ever and ever. That's example she had given. Grit has been my issue because finding grit, like I have shown perseverance, I've shown efforts to myself, I've proved it. Even this space we have been going on for 70 weeks. We have done 64 episodes of the podcast. So I'm taking care of the effort part, but the passion, that was something that I wanted to find. And in one of the later chapters, she said what is and how to find passion. And she said it is by experimentation. You try different things and then you learn. It is not that all chefs and musicians want to become chefs and musicians and artists in the first time. There are very few of them, but people figure that out somehow and later in time, and that's how I do it. So experimenting with different things and finding nuance. That is another amazing concept that I like. Finding nuance. Nuance is basically something new in things that you've already been doing. So that is tweaking something, finding a new version of doing something, and so on and so forth. So going deeper and deeper into that particular skill or talent, that is way to find passion. And once you have found it, it's all about efforts and keeping on doing particular things. So very, very interesting read. What are your thoughts, Tera?
Okay, I was trying to turn my mic on. Very interesting, and in fact, it's a good way to find our real love and what we want to do in our lives. The why is very important, and experimenting new things. For sure, we will find that one that makes us feel more complete and make us happy. For sure, it's a great way to explain it. Yes.
So why this? Everybody knows about finding the why and how to figure it out and so on and so forth, but it doesn't dawn. It doesn't, like, people think that okay, I'm doing something and I'll just realize this is my passion and I'll go ahead from there. That is now not exactly how it works. It is it you don't have to romanticize it that okay, in first impression I'll get that view or so on and so forth. So that is something that she has highlighted there. I want to ask you, when did you find your why? How did you find it?
Yeah, it's a good question, and I think I'm still looking for it. I tried many different things in my life over the years, and I'm still looking for that special one that I will focus for. For now, I will keep experimenting and trying new things. One of the things that makes me feel more fulfilled, let's say it like this, is to help others. I do a lot of volunteer work, and that's when I really feel that I'm more helpful and feel really more complete, helping others. Yes.
Wow, very interesting. Can you give example? So you find fulfillment in helping others. Can you give some example of what volunteer work you are doing? And I want to give you a shout out. You have been helping me also in the last couple of weeks in just showing support for being in this space. So that is awesome. Much love and hugs to you.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I do volunteer work on a local hospital. This past times I don't do many things locally, but I'm helping them on the internet part of things, and I also help people there in the local when I have the possibility. Another thing that I feel. Joy for helping is that I'm helping the father of a friend of mine. Is over 80 years old and is a great artist, and I'm helping him to turn his artworks in NFTs, and I'm launching his collections. Other things is helping people on how to deal with the things that happens on their computers or their phones, those kinds of helps. I also have the work and the jobs on support parts. So that's something that I'm used to do. Help people is already part of me, of who I am.
Wow. So we all know that you are a techie and a tech entrepreneur, and so you're using your same skills to help others. So that's very interesting. So doing something what you're already doing and helping others with that, that's really wonderful. Very nice to hear that. In
Yeah, it's a little bit more about me that you didn't know you, and most of people don't know about what I do.
yeah, so what do you do?
No, what I was talking about, I already told you.
No, no. What is your
Of
day
the
job?
thing. I don't have a day job at this time, a regular day job. I do many freelance works, building websites, giving training to companies, consulting. That's my main skills are on those areas and the works that I do. And I'm learning more about Web3 and all these works to try to make it as work too. For now, I'm
Awesome.
just experimenting and trying
What is
and
your main
learning
domain?
new
What is
things.
your domain of expertise? Because it's a wide field, right? Internet and computing.
Yes, building websites. Basically, I also build stores and all of that on with WooCommerce or PrestaShop or things like that. But I prefer to write it. The institutional websites that don't need many programming and many features. I do it from scratch on HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I start from Bootstrap, and I build the website from there. And I have all the clean code that I know exactly what is there, and it's easier to optimize to make the websites go faster and make it more user friendly and also search engine friendly. That's very important. That part of SEO, it's very important on website building, and I also do many works updating and optimizing websites that are running slow or have problems with code. That's the main tasks that I usually get. Part of
That
a
is very
part of
interesting. Very
consulting
interesting to know. I
and
would love
training.
to see some of the websites you've created. Do share links on my what is it DM. And SEO is a big part. A lot of things changing and coming up, and I'm so glad. I mean, this is a pattern I've noticed. Those people who are into web designing, especially, where have got to know about Web3 and NFTs much quicker than others. Because you're always on the foot, right? You're always searching for new things coming up, new techniques and tools. So I believe that's the reason. What do you think?
Yes, absolutely. I agree. I took my course over 20 years ago, and over this time, I needed to update on many things and many different changes that occur. So we are always learning new things and trying to find the next big thing and the what will work. So we are already in the field to get more information about what is going on, and with Web3 is basically what's happening.
20 years ago, you're kind of giving a hint on your age. But it's good. That's a compliment, you know. Some people who are in, I mean, this is what I was thinking in the morning. Like, I know a grandma. She's watching TV 8-10 hours every day since many years. I said, I don't want this kind of retirement. I just would cringe. I would better die than live like this. I would rather want to be connected with the youth, or use that free time connecting to new technology or finding out what is happening and helping others, because by that time you have earned something, right? You can use that leverage to help others and your knowledge and all those things. And it would be so exciting to know what music is going on, what technology is going on. So you and many people, many collectors I have spoken to on Rocklaz Radio are, I'm so glad to see them taking interest in new things. So kudos to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And you talking about retirement and older people. When I took my certification for training, my main point or my main goal on taking the degree to give training, to be a certified training, was to help elders, people with older age, to help them how to work on the internet with things online, basically, because I think there's a lack of a big lack of information about that in senior population in general, and that was my main goal. It was to help elder people. Again, help.
Wow,
That's
that's very
basically what I
interesting.
do.
I never really knew that, that there's a course exists that specializing in helping older people. I was speaking with my mic off, sorry. I was saying it's so cool. I never knew that there's a course that is specializing in helping older people. That is very needed. It takes a lot of patience to show them, and you have to do it again and again, show again and again. For my grandma, like switching on the TV is, she calls me like, what is happening? Why is it not switching on, and so on? Because with it's not a simple TV anymore, right? There's Netflix and there are 2-3 other things that the remote has to take care of. It's not like that you press a button and the TV opens and you have buttons to, like, the new remotes don't even have buttons. So yeah, I can totally relate and give you claps for what you do. In all this story you mentioned, how did you fell in love with chickens?
Oh, chicken! I think everyone is in love with chickens. Not only to eat them, but always. Chicken is such a funny animal, and we can laugh and have fun with them. And basically, the responsible of the main the how do I say this? The person that have more responsibility on for me to create this chicken collection was Yulia Rosson. I was sharing with her some of the experiments that I was doing on AI, and she spotted a chicken in the background of an image. I was not showing exactly that chicken, but she spotted and said, "Oh, that's very funny. I see a very funny chicken there, and then it starts from there, and then AI helped on creating these funny chickens, and there's a lot more to come for sure. And thanks for mentioning.
Very interesting. I have a joke on the current topic we are talking about. I had talked to Alexa. Luckily, I've unplugged her so she doesn't respond. So one day I was just asking, after I had failed my exams, hi Alexa, I failed my exams. Can you tell me a joke to cheer me up? I asked her to tell a joke. So she said, what is the difference between you and your grandma? I was like, what? She was like, your grandma passed. Dark joke. Crazy.
Yes, could be.
And just last week, 2 weeks ago, it was her anniversary, my grandma's death anniversary. We have puja and we have, what do you say, rituals to do. So, bad timing or good timing for the joke. Anyways, so nice to see you all. And we have a new guest on the panel today, Asad, who's joining from Pakistan. Let's hear from him. How are you doing? Salam alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. I'm doing well. What about you?
I'm very good. Where are you joining us from? Where are you in Pakistan?
I'm in currently living in Karachi.
Oh, interesting. It was in the news. How is the hurricane? What is happening there? Cyclone, right?
Yeah. Biparjoy cyclone, but it is 295 kilometer far from Karachi.
Oh, it's not in Karachi. It's far. But I'm very, very far from Karachi. But still, the winds have been going crazy in past couple of days. Like it's so windy. The if you keep the window slightly open, it starts whistling. And I was just discussing why is it so windy these days? It's not even the season. So then I was like, then I got to know that okay, there's cyclone going on at some place. So that's very interesting. How far away? How wonderful the nature is. It is interesting.
Yeah, the nature is very in my current area. The nature is very beautiful. Today I go outside from the Qaid Azam Mazar uh, for
Uh huh.
visit. Yeah.
All right. So tell us about you. What do you do?
Yeah.
I think we're talking for the first time. So I would love to know about you.
Yeah. I am actually undergraduate student of first year in second semester, and I heard about NFTs in 2021. Then I start learning about it. I take courses on Udemy, and then I start making artwork. And now I currently study artificial intelligence, and I love exploring new things, new technologies, and I always learning something new every day. And currently, uh, I am just doing university's work and try to do uh, connect with the different peoples and uh, grow my network. Yeah.
Uh huh. So what? You are also an expert in Canva. I use Canva very extensively for all the designs and now even for videos. So these 100 designs you created, did you sell those templates or designs, or were they for the personal use?
Actually, the artwork that I created, I use Canva uh, to pixel to make the better images, and I use personal for personal use Canva.
Okay, got it. Very interesting. So how are things in Pakistan? I mean, I economically and it is not very well. We hear that it's almost at a brink of collapse. The whole political
Your
system in Pakistan.
voice is rugging.
Sorry.
Now it's clear. Your actually voice was rugging.
Yeah, mute yourself. I think after you mute yourself, you can hear me better. Let's try. Mute your mic, please. After you mute, you can hear me well. Can you hear me now?
I,
Oh,
yes, yes.
okay, cool. So I was saying, I've heard that Pakistan is almost on the brink of collapse economically and politically. So how are things there? What is happening?
Actually, the inflation is too high because of bad government policies, and the corruption is, very high in the in different Pakistanis. Actually, the regime change has changed very damaged the economy because overall exchange rate is very low. Our import and export is very low. Remittance is also low, foreign remittance. So the government has tried to make the economy good. It's now currently China is promised to give $1 billion, and but government is trying to stable the economy, but the advisors are saying that then election is only the solution for this for the betterment of economy and stability in Pakistan.
Elections, I don't know how far will that go. But I just hope everything gets better, fine, or maybe you can push or go. I was seeing a video of a Pakistani person talking that they want Modi as their prime minister. We don't want Imran Khan. We don't want military. We don't want anybody else. We only want Modi. And indeed, Modi is doing very well for India. So you can consider the option of pushing your government to do something with India. Collaborate or join in. What do you think? Hello. You will have to unmute if you are speaking. I can't hear you. Tera, can you hear me?
Yes.
Asad, I'm not able to hear you. You can unmute or maybe rejoin this space because I'm not able to hear you. Don't tell me don't tell me your government is listening to the podcast. I mean, to this Twitter space and they cut off your internet. That would be sad. Okay, back to you, Tera. Where did you go on the break?
Oh, just needed to have an incoming call that needs to shut up the Twitter. Do it. I think Azad is already connected.
Mm-hmm.
Azad?
If somebody who has learned Spanish, can they learn Portuguese easily?
It will be helpful to already know Spanish to learn Portuguese, but there are many words that are completely different. But it would be helpful, yes.
Do you have any plans or have you been to Brazil? Because I think Brazil is the biggest population who speaks Portuguese. And even on Duolingo, they have flags for different languages according to country, right? So for Portuguese, it doesn't have Portugal flag. It has Brazil flag on it.
Yes, it's a very debatable question because in many things Brazilians are creating their own language too. They don't speak the exact Portuguese, and there are many words that they use that are not in the dictionary, Portuguese dictionary, but it's they for. Legal terms, they speak Portuguese. And we also have in Africa some countries like Mozambique or Angola that also have many Portuguese speakers, and it's their official language. It's Portuguese.
Oh, I didn't know
So,
that. I didn't know about
yes.
Angola and Mozambique. Portuguese had also captured Goa in India, and but I don't think there are
Yeah.
any Portuguese speakers in India. Um,
Yes, and there's no. It's not the official language in terms of Angola and Mozambique and other countries in Africa too. Those two are the biggest ones, and they have more people speaking Portuguese, and it's the official language. But there are more countries in Portugal.
I have a lot of
Spain
fun
in
facts of.
time
I have a lot of fun
divided the
fact on
world, right?
Portugal and Portuguese. The word for batata, it's the same in my language and in Portuguese. It means potato.
Yes, yes.
And also pau. Pau is a bun, bread.
Pão, pão.
Pau. Yeah, we call it pau. So yeah, that is what has come from Portuguese when they had come to India, and even sabudana. I don't know what's that called, but Portuguese introduced many things to India, and which have become own delicacies now. So vada pav, which is a famous delicacy in Maharashtra, in my region, it has lineage to Portugals, and they don't know about it. Another fun fact is Goa was part of Portugal, right? So when India got independence from British, it was a different thing. Giving up, we India was a separate entity. It wasn't a part of England. It was Indian Empire. It was separate political system. Everything was separate. But when it came to Goa and the Portuguese, it was the same. It was the internal state of Portugal. So the process to push them off or get independence from them was different. They had to just do it by force, because going fighting with that is directly fighting with the Portugal state, like the country. So that's a funny history there. But I have been
Yeah, we
to.
have Goa, Damão e Dio in India, right?
Sorry, what are you saying? Goa what?
Goa,
Uh-huh.
Damão, and Dio, three places in India. That was from
I didn't
it was from
understand. Goa was what?
Goa.
Uh-huh.
Another place is Damão. I don't know in Portuguese we say Goa, Damão e Dio. It's three different cities.
Goa the Mao. Are you saying the name of the place? So what does Goa the Mao mean?
No. Goa, it's one place,
Mm-hmm.
right? Damão, it's
Ah,
another place.
Daman and Diu. That these are other
Diu,
places in Gujarat. Daman and Diu.
Yes.
Goa, Daman and Diu.
Goa,
Three places
Damão
by
e Diu.
Portuguese.
Yes.
Right. So were you taught about this in your school? How do you know about these three places?
It's from history and the past the history of Portugal and the conquistadors and that in time Portugal and Spain divided the world in two, and they control each one a part of the world, and those three places in India was the main ones that we had to make the exchanges of delicacies and all the spices that we get from India and from all the way from the ocean on the bottom part of Africa, South Africa, and that
There's a
Cape there.
there's a fourth place which is called Bhakra Nagar Haveli, Dadra Nagar Haveli. So that is a very small place inland. It is not even on the coast. It was given by, I think, Shivaji Maharaj to the Portuguese or something like that. It was gifted to the Portuguese. Yeah. So but I don't remember Spanish. I don't think Spaniards had come to India. If they had come also, I cannot think of any place that they had conquered or started their establishment. Do you know of any?
No, that they established on the other part of the world. That's part also belongs to Portugal and Spain, for example. The Brazil is the only part of the world
Latin
that
America.
in times was conquered by Portuguese. And the rest of the South America, and they are most of them Spanish speakers because they were conquered and then controlled by Spain in some time.
So why didn't? So you might have gone on war with Spain, no? Portugal might have gone on war with Spain in Brazil, did they?
No, in Brazil, no. That's part of they divided the world into parts, and when they set that division, they pull a little bit to the left, let's say it like this, to include Brazil on that part, and the rest of South America was already belonging to Spanish people. The battles between Portuguese and Spanish was from the beginning of the foundation of Portugal. The king of Portugal fought against his own mother, that was Spanish, to conquer the Portugal and part of Portugal on the north side of Portugal, and then they start fighting to all the way of the country to the south against Muslims. They are controlling Portugal. This is when on 1143, I guess, or around that time. Where these battles and the Portuguese Portugal as a country was founded in 1143. So
That's very interesting. It took how many years? Almost 1,000 years for Spanish and Portuguese language to become completely different. So it might have been the same language, right? 1140, the language spoken by Portuguese and the Spanish must be the same, and it has changed so much in all these years.
Yes, in one time for sure they will speak the same language, and then each region starts to adding these new words and start talking on their own language. There are parts of Spain next to the border with Portugal where they also speak many words in Portuguese too, and the same with the people from the border. They speak many words in Spanish. In Portuguese, they speak many words in Spanish. So there's a mix on the borders. Let's say it like this.
So the prince who fought for independence of Portuguese, his mother was Spanish queen. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So the kingdom of Spain, like the rulers of Spain, their own child wanted a separate country, and that's why the child went on the family with the parents. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes. He he fight against his own mother to get his own country and found Portugal that way. Yes.
But that time I had read also that a lot of Islamic and Muslim conquerors had all occupied the whole continent of, not continent, the peninsula of Spain.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And that's what I said. He conquered the north part to Spain, founded Portugal, and then started going to the south to fight against Muslims to get a bigger part of the peninsula to Portugal. That's why we have this little rectangle in the map. That was what was left for us.
How many Muslims are left in the country? Like how many of your population is Muslim, or like have you driven away all the Muslims? What is the situation there?
With for on the south part of the Portugal, we have more Muslims, but there's not that many. It's not. It's almost irrelevant to the rest of the population. Yes, it's little communities of Muslims, but not that much.
You know, it's funny how the colonizers get to put their story and teach it to the world, because like states in India are bigger than Portugal and Spain and London. Like each state is as big as that. India is as big as Europe. So and each of these states have had their own interesting stories of kingdoms and wars and kings, but it's still not known to the world. But it's very interesting as I'm reading there. Especially the story of Shivaji Maharaj is very interesting. So I hope the whole the rest of the world also takes interest in that. Somehow they will, I'm sure, because you know it is more interesting than Game of Thrones. I was listening to this podcast and I want to bring the author to my podcast as well. I gave her a shout out in previous episode of the live. Very interesting. So how from small prince and from small kingdom which was very insignificant, he created an empire. And not just that, even after he died, 25 years, 30, 50 years after his death, people are fighting for in his name. He had inspired everybody so much. So that was interesting. So the British didn't take India from Mughals. Mughals are the Islamic Muslim people. They actually took it over from Marathas, which is the clan of Shivaji. So that's some fun history aspects of it. I'm really keen in history, you know. I really like to know culture and history of other places. I've invited a sociology teacher, professor of Brazil, to come on the show. So we'll definitely have Brazil, a Portuguese speaking person on the show and talk about their culture with him. Very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So how did to get started in web design 20 years ago? That is a big achievement in itself, because 20 years ago nobody took technology and website that seriously. So how did you get into that?
Yes, at that time it was an opportunity to take that course, and we already at that time we already know and see that technology and internet and everything related to that will be the future, and everything will go online, let's say it like that. And that's why I decided to take the course to know how to program basically, and get in this area of work.
Which is the most technologically advanced city in Portugal? Is it Lisbon or Porto?
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
In Portugal, which is the most technologically advanced city? Is it Porto or Lisbon?
We cannot talk exactly on advanced technology, but Lisbon is always more important because it's the capital. But we have a big spot here in Porto, also in Braga. It's on north and basically all around the country. Of course, Lisbon will always be the number one because it's the capital and next Porto. But in terms of technology itself, it's basically the whole country. It's on the same level,
Hmm.
and there are
Tell me,
many
tell me some fun
big
facts
companies.
about Porto, or like your culture. What food or music or events do you like? You know what? This is. Let me publish this as a Portugal episode, because I plan to get people speakers from around the world, from different countries, to tell some fun fact about culture and all that. So we have reached about 25 countries. So this in this with this episode we can check mark Portugal as well. So back to you. Tell us some fun facts.
Absolutely. One of I talking about Porto, we always need to talk about Porto wine, and
Wine.
Porto wine was the first. I don't know exactly the translation to English, but it was the first certified wine in the world to
Oh,
have that
I thought it
specific.
was the I thought it was the first portable wine. That's why Porto.
First what?
Portable wine? You know what's portable?
Portable.
Not
Yes, yes.
portable.
No, not portable. Okay, I understand it. No, it was the first certified region with a specific wine, and Porto wine is known in all of the world. Then about food, we have francesinhas. It's in the free translation. It's little French. It's a sandwich with a very hot sauce. It's the most important delicacy in Porto. So these are the two most important things about food and wine in Porto. But we have many more landmarks and things to visit, many monuments, and
Mhm.
it's a culture that is very you can
I am
notice the influence from the past in many places of Porto. You can see exactly the
hmm.
how it was. Many places on the city are still almost the same, and you can always feel at home. Portuguese people in general, but especially on the north in Porto, they are very welcome and always wanted and
I'm actually
available
sharing
to help
I'm actually
everyone.
sharing photos of Porto with our friends on the live stream on the screen share. This is such a
And
beautiful
we are
city.
near the sea, so we have wonderful fish too.
I just realized I was speaking with the mic off. I said we are showing Porto on live stream on YouTube to our friends. This is such a beautiful country, a beautiful city. So, okay, if you can see your YouTube, tell us about which areas of this. If the whole country is beautiful like this, with these red color roof and white color buildings, which are not more than few stories high. It's like a hill and river in the same place.
Yes, a little bit of both. On one side, you have the city part, and the other side you have the mountains. And you can go all up on up the river in those little boats to know it. It's pass through some bridges from the town. I cannot see it on YouTube, but I see the stream here on Twitter. I can see the images that you
Oh, you
are
can
showing.
see it on the broadcast on Twitter. Yeah, I forgot about that. So cool.
Yes, yes.
So these are the boats,
On
right?
YouTube, I don't know why, but I don't see the live stream. The only one that I see it was 6 days ago.
It is live. I can see it live. Like you can see me sharing the back screen also there. But anyways, let's get back to the conversation. There's a bit of lag in YouTube, but I'm sure people can see it eventually.
Okay.
So this is Porto. It's so beautiful. We also have boats similar to this in Kashmir, not the same, but yeah, similar shape. Very, very beautiful. It is like Amsterdam in the south. Probably.
Yeah, I've never been in Amsterdam, so I don't
Even
know.
I've never been. I've just heard and seen photos. And on the map, I can see Porto is in the north of Portugal. Lisbon is in the
Yes.
south.
Correct.
So, what is Porto famous for?
Again, for the wine. And also working people. We used to say that in Porto we work in Porto to pay the bills from people in Lisbon.
You work in Porto to pay bills of people in Lisbon. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes.
What does that mean? People of Lisbon don't work.
Right. They are known for that. The working people, it's on the north side, not just on Porto, but from Porto to top. And in Lisbon, we have the capital. We have all the politicians are in Lisbon, so that's why we say that we work in Porto to pay the bills from people that are in Lisbon.
Politicians don't work, isn't it? I showed some red wine to other viewers also. You must be having a lot of grape fields, vineyards around your city, right?
Not exactly around the city itself, but if you go up to the river to the north, yes, there are many wine fields on the margins of the river. Yes.
Uh, Gibraltar. There's some fun. So, does Portuguese still own overseas territories?
No, at this time, we only Portugal is basically the mainland, and we have two islands. It's Azores on north and Madeira on south. That's the part of that's what officially is Portugal, the mainland and the Azores and the Madeira. All the rest are not, doesn't belong to Portugal anymore.
Oh, Macau also belonged to Portuguese, which is in China now. Very interesting. I didn't.
Not anymore. They have a contract a couple of years ago. It ended and passed to
1991.
the Chinese.
So
But
this.
they have a bigger influence on the culture in Macau. Yes.
I can see a lot of places that, let me share screen. A lot of places that Portugal had of India as well. Portuguese India is not just those three, but Kochi and many other places. So this is the whole map of all places they had in India. Mangalore, wow, these are a lot of places.
Yeah, I talked about those three because those were the main ones where Portuguese
That
Portuguese
lasted the
people are more
longest.
important. Yes, right.
Others were sort of taken over because there are dates here for a couple of years and then on and off. But these three they held on till 1961.
Right, and in Africa was until 1975, I guess, 74, 75.
I think only English, like British people and Americans, have the most foreign territories, and maybe French a bit here and there. But yeah, these guys still own a lot of territories, small islands around the world. Are you with me? The live stream is going to shut in 1 minute on Twitter, and then we'll conclude the space as well. We are joined by Sam. Hi, Sam. He's an architect and a photographer. Very interesting to see you. You have got some amazing architecture in your cover photo. You are out of Tehran. You're Irani. Wow. Okay, so we discuss about Portugal today. We have had this space for over 70 weeks. That's 1.5 years. Every week on Saturday. Next week onwards is going to be on Sundays. Thank you so much for joining. Tera Bitcoins especially. It was lovely talking to you about Portugal and getting fun facts. You are my noted guest on podcast. I'm going to publish an episode in your name on the podcast, so do watch out for that. Cheers. We should have.
Okay. Thank you for having me, Tanmay.
Cheers. Have a good day, guys. See you all around in coming weeks, or else the next directly we'll see you on next Sunday. Next Sunday we'll talk more about grit on other chapters I read. We'll hear some more fun stories. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel to get an update and to see amazing podcast we have had. We had object.com, and Tera got featured in that. Tera actually showed your called out your name and showed your profile on the podcast, and we asked you a question: how do artists get featured on Object? So she has answered that. We had Cabline Ombeline from object.com joining us. That's an amazing episode. You can find it on my pinned tweet. Go check it out. Have fun. See you all. Bye bye.